Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to ChortleCast,
the official podcast of Chortle Games. I'm Jake.
I'm Brody.
And I'm Steven. What voice was that?
I don't know what Brody just did. That was kind of like a hillbilly southern accent.
Yeah. If I was looking for that voice in like a game creator, like a character creator, what would that voice be called in the character creator?
Happy Farmer. Yeah.
Happy hillbilly farmer, maybe.
Maybe.
Hillbilly
Either
billionaire.
One. Hillbilly billionaire?
Wasn't that? No, it was Millionaire, right? In the wasn't that the show? The old
Beverly
show?
Hillbillies?
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Beverly Hillbilly.
Hillbilly Millionaire.
That's the next game show coming to you.
No, man. I'd watch it.
I'd watch it.
Hillbilly millionaire.
They ask him questions, but it's
Like,
like really southern
so it's
questions. Like,
what, do you want to be a millionaire? But like hillbilly questions?
yeah, like how would you skin a rabbit? Or
What kind of fertilizer would you use to make corn grow faster?
bong, bong, bong. And it'd be a guitar instead of the dramatic music.
A guitar.
You gotta
Banjo,
answer the
man.
question about the time the banjo solo
Yeah,
finishes.
yeah, there you go. Anyway, in case you didn't know, this is ChortleCast, the official podcast of Chortle Games, where we talk about TV shows, anime, movies, video games. We come up with game show ideas that you can steal free of charge. Anything we want to talk about, we've got a great show for you this week. Kind of been a slow week. Not a lot of stuff that going on. So we're going to be talking about Black Panther. These two guys have seen it. I have not seen it. I have not seen it because I have a busy life. I'm hoping to see it this weekend.
Wow,
but
thanks.
I'm gonna be listening and getting spoiled by you guys. We're gonna talk about the Fortnite update.
You don't care about
and then
spoilers.
we're gonna talk about Xbox games for gold, and maybe some other things. You never know.
Who knows?
Like
How to
there's a
make
new
spaghetti?
the creator of Harvest Moon has announced a new game coming out in 2018 on the Switch.
I have
and
heard
PS4.
to ignore everything that the company that makes Harvest Moon does now, because the people that actually make Harvest Moon split off to something else.
Yes, those people, the people who made it, not the company. It's a new game called Little Dragon Cafe.
So it's not under Harvest Moon's title, because I've heard ignore everything under Harvest Moon now.
No. It is not. It is not Harvest Moon Little Dragon Cafe. It is Little Dragon Cafe. I think I flagged it.
Little Dragon.
Little Dragon Cafe. Let me read this. So, Akisai Games has announced Little Dragon Cafe, the latest project from Harvest Moon creator Yoshiro Wada. I'm horrible at names. I'm sorry. And then PS4 and Switch. So the story is it's a twin brother and sister. I assume like the first chapter is you're learning to cook and manage this cafe. Mm-hmm. But then your mom gets put under a spell, and a strange man appears on your doorstep and hands you a dragon and says, "I need you to raise this dragon, and if you do it, I'll wake your mother up." And so now you're having to run a cafe and raise a dragon. So it's How to Train Your Dragon, but also like Overcooked Diner Dash type style game.
So you're just learning how to like manage a restaurant, and some man just comes and puts your mom in a coma and is like, raise my pet.
Here's my pet dragon. I need you to raise it. Yeah, that's basically what happened.
Okay.
I'm pumped about it. I love it. I'm all about
can't
it.
wait for my mom to
There's
be in a coma.
farming, there's fishing and all that jazz, just like a normal Harvest Moon.
Dude, fish.
But then there's a dragon. You know,
Don't tell
Look,
Miles about the fishing. Yeah.
what boxes you got to check off for Jake? You know, bow, dragon, done. That's all I got. And they've got one of my boxes, so I'm good. Anyway, sorry.
What boxes would you say I have? I'm curious. Like what Steven boxes need to be checked for a game? We know Miles needs fishing. That's all he needs.
The top is not popular.
I was about to say, I was about to be like lame, obscure.
Just kidding. Strategy RPG.
Yeah, strategy, definitely.
Space.
Would space be a box for you? Like aliens? Is that a box you check?
I wouldn't think so.
Gun. No.
Gun.
Gun. Just gun. Is there a gun in it?
Just gun. That's a big list.
So yeah, that's pretty much
Is it
any
a
game at
strategy
this point.
RPG? And are there guns? I'm in.
Well, mine is bow and dragon, and then like flight. Yours is like if you can shoot lightning, if you can fly.
If there's magic, I'm probably in.
Yeah, that would be another box
Yeah.
for me.
Co-op is a box for me.
I would say
Okay.
that.
That's like my
If
number
there's
one
couch
box.
co-op, there's like co-op, and then below that would be like couch co-op in parentheses.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I think for me, like, class systems are really high up there because I love a co-op class system to where I complement your playstyle and you complement
Right.
my playstyle. I love that kind of stuff.
Steven's
So there's like
always
two of my
gonna
big
be
boxes probably.
the support character in anything. And if there's no support character, he'll find a way to make his character the support character.
That's kind of
is very
true.
true.
That's my struggle. That's my struggle in Monster Hunter right now is trying to make the light bow gun a support weapon.
Someone did it. I watched an Eric's video this weekend. It was like a mixed set, and one of the guys that works at Capcom, I think his name's Yuri or something, made a support class for Sword and Shield. That since Sword and
That's
Shield,
doable. That's totally doable.
yeah, since Sword and Shield
Yeah.
can't use or can use items while they're holding their weapons. He had stuff
That would be
was
an
like,
item prolonger and wide range, right?
and he had stuff that like he healed like a crap ton from like normal potions, and it would heal his teammates a ton.
Huh.
But it was
I might honestly try that sometime because I love the
it
sword.
was pretty awesome.
I haven't tried the sword shield.
What was I gonna say?
Are y'all still playing Monster Hunter a lot?
On and off.
On and off?
Yeah, on and off. Like I don't touch it unless I've
Yeah.
got someone else to
We're
play
not
with.
abandoning it. We're not pulling the destiny on
No.
it. So
No. The game is still very much like I love playing it, but it's just that since I'm in high rank, I just don't know what monsters other than the Yakus that I could hunt and actually not get wrecked when hunting them by myself. So
See,
I'm
I'm
just
not even
looking
to
for
high
people to play
rank
with
yet,
at this point.
so
you're close.
I just got to the Rotten Vale.
You're close.
I'm close. Okay. Well, I honestly just haven't had time to touch it, and I'm kind of at the point where I don't know. Looking towards spring break. That's going to be like my next time to like really dive into the backlog and start checking some games off my list. I still haven't beaten Horizon. I got too excited about that one. I fell too much in love with it and said, "Oh, I'm going to do the DLC. I'm going to do all the side missions now. I'm going to do all that." And now I've lost my opportunity to finish it. So
That's how I am with Persona 5. I think I'm like 2 dungeons away from beating it,
but you just can't.
but I took like a month break from it.
Right.
And Fortnite and Monster Hunter took over everything. So then I was like, I ordered Kingdom Hearts, and I was like, I need to beat Persona 5 before I get Kingdom Hearts.
But then you got it anyway.
I didn't start it like since I said that, like since I got Kingdom Hearts like last week, but like I tried to play it probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I started the game and I was like, what the hell was I doing? And then like
In Persona?
yeah. And then it was like a 20-day long thing that I still haven't like finished before like the story actually continues. And it's like, I just want to finish the story now. Like it's still a fun game, but like I just want to know the story.
So you
Also because the anime for Persona 5 starts next month.
Oh, there's like an accompanying anime? Mm-hmm. Oh,
Well,
that's cool.
It's just a story. They're doing the story from it.
Oh, it is Persona 5.
Yeah, yeah.
Just animated. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll watch that.
Yeah. And I want to watch it, but not till I finish the game.
Well, yeah. You've put this much time into it. No point in going at it now. So you mentioned Kingdom Hearts in there. You
Yes.
got the, what is it?
1.5,
1.5.
2.5
Yeah.
collection.
All that. Have you did start it, right?
Yeah, I'm starting with 1, then Chain of Memories, then 2, then Birth by Sleep,
Yeah.
and then it has
Does it have
3. It has 300 something days.
365 days? Yeah.
Yeah,
Over something.
over 2 or something.
2.
Yeah,
Over
it has
2,
like
yeah.
How do you know that, Steven? That's what I want to know.
because it's such a
I worked at GameStop.
oh,
That's
okay.
how I
such a
know.
stupid title. That's why.
Yeah.
But like, it has the cinematic scenes from that or
So
something.
it's not the actual game. It's just the cinematics.
Yeah, Birth by Sleep is the actual game though, and Chain of Memories is the actual thing, and then it has the cinematic scenes from Kingdom Hearts Coded. I have no clue what that one is.
Coded is like It's something with Mickey, Donald, and Goofy. I believe it's between 1 and 2, and they're revisiting Jiminy Cricket's diary of everything that's happened, and like there's something that's going wrong, like things aren't right, so they're trying to fix it. I can't remember.
Explaining this game to someone who doesn't know what it is
it is
bonkers.
real complicated. I'm not going to get into it, but I do want to shout out a guy who, I don't know if you've seen this, Brody, in our history.
I've probably seen it pop up. If you're about to point out is it like the 20-minute long video?
It's
of like
a 20-minute like explanation. Here we go.
Yep, I've seen that.
It's
advertised.
The entire story of Kingdom Hearts in under 20 minutes by Frustrated Jacob. It was really, 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 really like he made it all make sense.
Yeah.
In a really nice way. So, and it was pretty funny and entertaining too. So, if you're curious about Kingdom Hearts or you're a fan like Brody and I, you should, and you just want a refresher, that's what I would suggest. I would love to replay all the games. I don't have that time.
Yeah.
You know, I'm so excited that you're doing it though.
I put it on easy mode just so I could like fly
just so
through
you
the
can blow
games.
through it. Yeah. So you started out with 1. Does it feel?
It feels clunky. It feels like I'm playing a PlayStation 2 game.
Yeah.
Which sucks, but like whatever.
I remember playing 1 and then going to 2, and just like how awesome that felt. But
the thing I'm excited for, like, I already know 1 to 2 is going to be a good jump.
Right.
But I'm excited to beat 2 and then eventually play the 2.8, which is basically the Kingdom Hearts 3 demo.
Right.
And see like how different that feels.
That will be cool.
Yeah. But I went off on a tangent. What is Miles saying?
Good old tangents, good old Miles texting during the podcast. All right, Steven, what have you been playing?
Well, a little bit of Monster Hunter. Got Rocket League this week.
Been playing some streams.
I'm now kind of awesome.
You're awesome at Rocket League.
I'm a little awesome at Rocket League. I went from fighting rookies on day 1 to 3 days later being able to, and I know this means nothing because it's not PvP, so I'm basically like, hey, I finally beat the tutorial, but I can take on all-star bots, no problem.
Oh, cool.
Now. It's a lot of fun. I've been playing it with Miles and Logan. You guys can expect to see more streams of that. But those of you that did watch know that I'm streaming XCOM 2. I'm actually wearing my rookie shirt again today.
You really did get all of
disgusting.
those XCOM. You bought every single T-shirt they could have had.
I've got not every single shirt. I've got the rookie shirt. I've got the XCOM logo shirt, which is the blue one, and then I've got the Templar shirt because they had the 3 factions and the Templar shirt looked the coolest. And wouldn't you know it? Out of the 3 factions, the Templar are actually my favorite. So it worked out. But no, we're in the middle of that. I streamed it for 2 hours on Tuesday. A good bit of you watched, more than I expected, honestly, so thanks for that.
41 was the last I checked.
Yeah. And I think live we had around 33 was the total live views we had. But I just jumped in the game a couple days ago, and I went in and customized the soldiers that signed up between now and then. So I've got some new faces that you'll see on Tuesday. And again, and I'll plug this at the end of the stream, but if you want to be in the game, I can totally put you in. You guys are already going to be in it. I've got you guys picked out, but it's going to be a little while.
Oh, we're not getting in it yet?
No, Brody's going to...
We're not in it.
What?
We're not in it yet.
Brody is going to be my skirmisher.
Oh, boy.
Well, my first skirmisher, which is half alien, half human.
Look at you.
They're awesome. They look like guardians from, Titans from Destiny. They even have what's the if I could have a Titan from Attack on Titan in that game, it would be over. Like it really would. But what's the guardian on Destiny that runs the Crucible that has the fur?
Zavala, Shax.
Shax, yeah.
Yeah. The skirmisher, one of the skins has the Shax fur, so he really does look like a Titan. So that's gonna be Brody. And then Jake, you're going to be my Psi operative, which is my guy that I stick in a closet until he learns magic, and then put him back in the closet to learn more magic. and I pull them out of the closet when it's time to put them in a mission.
That's me.
In the closet.
That's what you requested.
Hiding in the closet.
I was just about to say, I'm hiding in the closet. Learning magic.
Yeah, from what I watched of it, it seems really cool. It really made me excited for, like, I guess this won't matter to you, but Steven would, like, understand it more, of, like, seeing, like, a bigger Fire Emblem, like, on the Switch, instead of having, like...
a console Fire Emblem,
man,
yeah.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, because that's how Radiant Dawn and Path of Radiance were, weren't they? Where they were more,
Yeah, that was
like,
GameCube.
zoomed in.
Yeah, that's going to be so freaking cool. I can't wait for it.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's what Jaeger, one of our frequent stream viewers,
Jaeger
said
boy?
was...
What up?
Hey, Jaeger,
What
if
up?
you're watching this. But he said that it reminded him a lot of Fire Emblem, and XCOM 1 and 2 definitely derived a lot from Fire Emblem, which was my intro to the strategy genre in the first place.
I might could get on board with that.
That is a good
Yeah,
point.
it's going to be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you enjoyed
That's like...
Mario Rabbids.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Mario Rabbids. I wasn't expecting to enjoy that as much as I did.
Yeah.
But I think part of what keeps me away from XCOM is if fantasy
dies.
stuff is one of my boxes, sci-fi is like almost one of my I'm not interested in boxes.
And that's funny you mentioned that, because when XCOM Enemy Unknown
Mm-hmm.
came out for the PC in like 2012, 2011, alien invasion stuff, that kind of sci-fi corner, zero interest
Right.
whatsoever. I literally bought it off a whim because it said it was turn-based
Mm-hmm.
tactical. It is now like XCOM 1 and 2 are my two favorite games
Right.
ever made. And like the genre doesn't get in the way for me because it is a class system
Mm-hmm.
game. There's one box with deep character customization. That's 2 boxes. That is turn-based tactical. That's 3 boxes. 3 of my big boxes on one
big
game.
boxes.
Big
And it
boxes.
was my big
Star
boxes.
Wars big boys, big
But,
boxes.
Stop.
Look, Steven, I didn't do it in the intro. I really wanted to. It's your name, man. It's your nickname.
I saw your hesitation. Is that why you stopped and let me
"Yep,
intro myself?
Let him introduce himself. I want to come up with nicknames for all of us, but I want it to happen naturally.
Never
so
be mine.
Star Wars.
I thought about calling you the XCOM, like XCon, but
Yeah.
then I gave myself that look.
As
so.
much as I would prefer to have something else, you can do better.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's got to happen naturally. And right now it's Star Wars Big Boy, so.
We'll just call him Steven the Archer.
No.
We'll call him Ethelian Sniper.
No.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
a
man.
throwback. That's a throwback. Back when I was douchey enough to include the word sniper in my Xbox gamer tag, making me the #1 person people would gun for online. That was a dumb idea.
Oh, well.
I don't know why I just remember that name.
There you go.
But speaking of Fire Emblem real quick, like, I've been saying that there's one game that is a must-have that's been keeping me from just saying screw eating and paying rent every month. I'm going to go buy a Switch today. That's Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem for the Switch, depending on how they do that, that is the game that will make
it's
me buy a
coming,
Switch.
baby.
Yeah, they
Like,
announced
day of.
last E3
Yeah.
that there was some mainline game coming to the Switch, but they haven't said a single thing about it.
Have they set a
since then.
date at all?
No. I think
So we
they
don't
said,
even
like-
have rumored 18.
I think they may have said 2018, but like
I'm going to look at that real quick.
we did a video on it.
It'll probably come out about a year
Or
from
it
now,
may have
if I had to
been
guess.
the Warriors video.
Yeah, I know that one came. That one's already out.
Yeah.
Fire Emblem typically does not release in the later quarters.
I thought you were about to
They
say
usually
on
release
even years,
Q1.
and I was like, really? That's ridiculous.
That's
No, they do actually
That's
typically
the
release on even
stupidest
years.
rule.
It
2000
says sometime in 2018.
oh, maybe we'll see something. I don't know.
I feel like if they announced it last E3, we'll probably get a pretty decent. Like that's one we should be expecting to see in 18.
Yeah.
Some of these like rumored things, like Pokemon. If Pokemon comes in 2018,
I would expect a teaser this year.
Well, I expect to hear or see about something, but I don't expect to play it in
Yeah.
2018
'Cause
because
it's-
we haven't seen anything from it yet.
Yeah.
So unless like
I'm gonna
something crazy has happened,
I am gonna say though, Fire Emblem mainline games typically do come out on even years. Because you got Blazing Sword in 2003, then Sacred Stones, well, which is not even year, but that's the exception. Sacred Stones in 2006, Awakening in 2012, and then Fates in 2016.
Did he start with
So
2003?
you might be onto something, Jake.
Yeah.
That's not an even year.
I know. I said that was the other
okay,
one.
okay. Sorry, I missed that part. I was too worried because
I think it was 2003.
my recording apparatus for you just blinked that it was low on battery. I'm just gonna keep an eye on it and hope for the best. Well, I haven't been playing as much because I've been pushing through editing right now. I've been having to edit a wedding, and I'm trying to edit a friend of ours is trying out for Survivor.
Come on, Ben.
So I'm working on that.
I'm on both bins.
So yeah, but it was 2 bins messing me up.
Come on, man.
But I have had some free. I did download Owlboy for Switch because that
Was
came
that
out.
everything that you hoped?
I mean, I just started it, and it's very fun.
Okay.
But
It's I don't know. It's not
Did
like
you hype it up too much for yourself?
I think I hyped it up too much for myself.
yeah,
Just because I had heard so many
well,
things, I had seen so many things, and I was like, this sounds really cool. And it is cool. I just really haven't gotten that far into it.
I try not to like hype myself up too much. I keep interrupting you. Sorry,
Yeah.
Steven.
no, you're good. I was just gonna say like earlier when you said I got Owlboy before the podcast, I was just like, that's it, because you're just like, I've been playing Owlboy.
I know.
That
I've
was
been
it.
so
And I was
excited
like,
about
well,
it.
that
I've been
can't
so
be
excited
good.
about it. And that's not to say it's a bad game at all. It really is cool. It really is fun. I have enjoyed it. It is very much a Zelda-like. So I'm excited to get more into it. I was pleasantly surprised that you can fly the whole time. Like I thought the whole shtick was that this owl kid couldn't fly well, and so that was kind of like his problem.
What's
But
your
no,
problem, man?
he can fly fine, but for whatever reason, everybody in the town hates him. Actually, it's not even the town; it's just your mentor. Your mentor thinks you're a piece of shit, and he makes sure to let you know. In fact, one of the opening cinematics in the whole thing is you're with your mentor, and he's teaching you things like how to fly, how to jump, how to walk, whatever, tutorial stuff. And he's just like, well, you suck at that. Let's move on. And it's like, you suck at that. And then he was like, I want you to go through the entire village, and I want you to let everyone tell you how much you suck. And so literally, this is like, I just learned the basics of this game. Literally, I have to walk through this village, and it's like slowly getting darker and darker, and like there's this like evil pulsing going on, and then it like you eventually come up to these like shadow figures that stop and look at you, and you're like, you're a pathetic human, you're horrible at everything, and blah blah blah. And I was just like, the heck? And then immediately after that, you get access to the village, and everyone's perfectly nice to you. And I don't know what was really happening there. And like you've got this
two
bud.
Switch games that like your mentor.
Maybe
just
you
picks
got the creepypasta copy. Maybe you got
Maybe
the
so.
creepypasta.
I don't know.
You
It
got
was
the Ben
weird.
Drowned version.
Yeah.
Celeste is awesome though. Like talking about mental health and stuff. Like there's some really cool moments in Celeste.
What did we talk about mental health?
I don't know. Y'all were talking about something. I don't know.
What?
You said dark something. I don't know.
You were talking about darkness.
What did you guys just say? You said that's 2 times the game.
Oh, I was gonna say that's 2 times that
creepypasta,
like
Ben.
your mentor in a game has been like, you're terrible.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
Golf Story 2.
Golf Story, yes. That's a lot of Switch games do that. I guess Celeste isn't like that. I guess the connection with Owlboy is like it is so crushing. Just that one scene.
Yeah.
And it's just interesting.
And then
Celeste
it's
is
like,
kind
"Hi."
of a different one.
You suck. Hi. How's it going?
How's it going? Hey. But yeah, anyway, Owlboy's good. But what I've mostly been spending my time on is this show on Netflix called Altered Carbon.
How's that? I've heard
It
mixed
has
reviews.
been out for a while, so this isn't like a hot take. But I'm about five episodes deep into that, and it is really, really good. It's really, really interesting. The premise of the show is it's several thousand years into our future. Humans discovered this alien technology that basically it's called a shack, and it's basically puts your person into like a disc that connects to your spine, and basically if your body or your sleeve as they call it dies, your shack can be put in another body. And so people can buy a better body. People can buy a body that's been augmented to like be better at combat and stuff. This one chick in the show has a body that secretes some sort of sex drug, which is really weird. Yeah. And just, I don't know, it's weird. Anyway, imagine every Black Mirror episode you've ever heard or seen. All of that technology is in this on top of this sleeve idea. But like, it's really,
I was gonna say that sounded like a Black Mirror thing.
It's cool because obviously you can't die unless your shack gets destroyed.
Sleeve.
But the initial thing they created it for was for interstellar travel, because you can just basically email your person from planet A to planet B into another body like that. Anyway, it's
Every time you said Shaq, I couldn't help but think of Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaquille. Yeah, kind of. I think that's yes, Shaq. Anyway,
I watched a trailer for Altered Carbon, and it looked like Explosions, the movie, or something.
There was one moment in one episode where the main character had just been interrogated, and he breaks out of it, and he gets his gun, and he kills everybody in that place. And when he's leaving, he walks out of the door, and there's an explosion behind him, and like part of his coat catches on fire or whatever, and he's just like fuming mad. He's carrying the head of the guy who was torturing him, and he just like brushes the fire off, and he's walking, and the guy's like, "Where you been?" And he's like, "I don't want to talk about it." He just like keeps going, but there was an explosion there. So
I was gonna say, it sounds like John Wick, kind of.
Kind of.
Which John Wick 2.
It's like Blade Runner meets John Wick.
It's Blade Runner meets Black Mirror is what it is.
I just want to say, John Wick 2 was such an awesome movie. I'm not gonna get into it, but it was so good.
I've only seen it once. I need to see it again. I liked the first one better as a movie, but like the second one just had some really good action
scenes were just
scenes in it.
awesome, man.
Yes.
Which I guess we can segue from John Wick into the new Fortnite.
I wanted to say one other thing about. Well, nah, let's just segue. Fortnite. Well, do we want to do Fortnite first or?
It doesn't matter to me.
I don't care. I don't know.
We're already here.
Fortnite.
We're here.
Fortnite got an update. Brody, what's in the update?
The new update, Season 3. It's they kind of redid building. You can like turbo build now instead of like pressing the trigger or clicking to like place each piece. If you hold the trigger and like look, if you like go 360, you'll just place a wall around you the entire, like as long as you hold it.
Wow. Okay.
So that's cool. They made it where you can like build through stuff. So like if you were like building a ramp and then a tree was there, you just fall. Or
right.
like you'd have to stop.
You can't build.
You can build through that tree now, but the tree will be like in the middle of the platform. But you can break it. You can build.
So you
through,
can
like,
build
trees
that
and
platform,
cars.
break that tree away, and keep moving.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Instead of having to jump down, break the tree, run back up your ramp.
Yeah.
Useful.
And then they did it that if you're building and you run out of materials, it just switches to the next one automatically, which is nice. Yeah,
that would have saved us on
I know
that one thing.
It was annoying. The big one, or I guess for some people, is consoles run on 60 FPS now, which
Brody has been raving about all day.
it's crazy. I've never played anything on PC, and there's probably been some console games that run like close to 60 FPS.
I feel like there are some that have,
Yeah.
but I don't know that we've ever played them.
But like you can tell the difference, or at least I can.
So what is the difference? Explain to me.
It just feels smoother.
It just feels smoother.
Yeah, I mean, Steven's played more PC stuff than I have, but like,
It's a smoothness issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really hard to explain.
You just
You'll
have to
notice.
know it.
Yeah,
You just
you'll
gotta
notice
do
when
it.
you play tonight, like how.
So it's automatically at 60 frames.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if there's like going to be dips, like if there's more people around and a bunch of stuff happening, but like it seemed to maintain it when I was playing it. And I don't know, I can't think of anything. I think Mario and like a bunch of Switch games have like been at 60 FPS. Mm-hmm. But for some reason this one feels different. Maybe it's just because like I've never had anything run at 60 FPS on
Right.
the PlayStation. Don't know. Who knows?
I was joking that you might become one of the PC master race, but you're not feeling that. Are you feeling any more inclined to get a PS4 Pro?
Kind of just wanted to anyway.
Mm-hmm. Well, I knew you were thinking about it.
Jet engine every time I turn it on now. It's ridiculous.
Apparently, some PS4 Pros sound that way. It depends on what fan was installed. And I know there's a way you can find out which. I mean, obviously you'll be able to tell, but like.
Yeah. I mean, I have
don't know if there's
a
anything you can do
base
about it.
PS4 model.
I do too.
Like first launch. Mm-hmm. So
I've got one that I've like upgraded with a new hard drive slot that I can put in bigger hard drives and stuff. But
because I thought for a while I was gonna get like the PS Slim or something.
Right.
But I mean, and that was just because if I traded my thing in, I'd have enough to just get it free basically.
Right.
But I think if I'm gonna get rid of it or like trade it in, may as well just get the Pro.
Yeah, if you were gonna trade it in, get the Pro. I've thought about getting a Slim to put in my living room, so that I didn't have to like move stuff between, and I could like just play things on that one, and then use the other one for our games, for our channel and everything. But it's just not worth it at this point. I'm really nervous. There's been a lot of rumblings about PS5 lately. I don't know why. It may just be that I've noticed it, but
Pro just came out like a year ago, didn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I would think we've got a safe 2 to 3 years before an announcement, and then maybe a year after that.
Yeah.
Which is all you can really expect, but it's one of those things. It's just like with an iPhone, which with an iPhone you kind of know a little better, but you always know that new phone is going to come, but it's like, do you upgrade or do you wait, or so I don't know.
And then I guess other stuff. They added new skins. There's skydiving trails that look really cool.
Yeah, the fire one looked awesome. What other kinds are there?
There's one that's like rainbows. I expected that. Bubbles. Kind of expected that. I think there's one that's stars, maybe.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then there's one that's like, if you've played Rocket League, there's like some that are just kind of like a ray of color behind you, and one's like that kind of like blue, like color that shoots out from behind you. And that they're probably gonna add a lot cooler ones that you actually have to like get the V-Bucks for, but whatever. I mean, they've already like if you've seen the new loading screen that just went up today. There's like the Save the World side and then the BR side on the loading screen. And on the BR side, there's a new glider that they kind of showed like 2 or 3 weeks ago in like a developer update kind of thing. That was like, here's the concept art for like gliders we want to do in the future and stuff. And that one's in the loading art. I think it's probably going to go up today. But it's a giant Chinese dragon that you hold onto its legs. But it's like huge. It looks really
awesome.
Cool. But that's probably like 1,500 V-Bucks or something.
Well, that's a box for Jake.
Yeah.
It's a check box.
A dragon glider.
I mean, yeah. And I don't play this game enough to justify it, but it would be great.
I want it.
I want it. And then, what's this about a hoverboard in PvE?
Okay,
it's just PvE?
No, that's Save the World.
Okay.
That you can apparently make a hoverboard now to bypass the stamina bars that they have.
Interesting.
Yeah. Which I'm okay with that. I hated that stamina's even a thing in the PvE part of the game. I don't know why it is.
I was a ninja, so I didn't have to worry about that as much.
Well, I mean, you can use abilities if your stamina was low
I was
enough.
a fat construction worker that, as Miles said, was always waiting in line at the buffet. So apparently I had to worry about stamina a lot.
They buffed his speed that he runs as fast as soldiers in Outlanders now. But the ninjas got even faster. Good. They got like a 10% speed buff.
That's my problem in Battle Royale. I can't be a ninja.
A lot of people were hoping that this season was going to be ninjas.
That would be great.
I can imagine.
I'd love some melee weapon. I think that would be really cool.
They've talked about wanting to do it, but they were like, some people were like, oh, it would take up a spot for guns and stuff, and it was like,
I mean, it's a choice.
It'd be a waste.
It's a choice.
It's like no one.
How often are you like close enough to do melee?
But what if the melee like really did damage? You know what I mean? Like if you got close enough, you could 1 or 2 hit somebody. I mean, it's kind of how it is with shotguns.
Yeah.
If you get a shot just right. I mean, if you could be really good, I'm just throwing it out there. It's an option.
I mean, they've expressed interest in wanting to do it.
The problem is, I know it's possible in PvE,
Yeah.
so I'm mad that it's not in Battle Royale.
Yeah.
So anyway, then there was some John Wick costumes,
Yeah.
a spaceman costume, a
think
Rust
there's, like-
Lord, which we think is Star Lord.
Yeah. I think there's like
That was pretty cool.
3
Steven
astronaut
approves.
things. There's the final costume that you get is the John Wick costume, which it's not called John Wick. I think it's called like the Reaper or something, which is pretty much just John Wick.
The Reaper.
Surprised they didn't call it the
Yeah,
Boogeyman.
I know. That may have been like a copyright thing or something.
Well, we were talking earlier about like how random is that, but like also how did they get the rights to do that? That's what I want to know.
I mean, there's no rights to a guy
actually,
in a black suit, so.
Oh, that's kind of what I assumed. I assumed they just made something to look like.
Well, and also Lionsgate Studios, the guys that put out John Wick, they actually have not shied away from video game partnerships in the past. They made a partnership with Starbreeze Studios, the guys that made Payday and are making GTFO. So John Wick is a playable character and is canon in Payday.
Well, all right then.
Did y'all see that apparently, no, what is it? It's in Final Fantasy 15.
Yes,
There's like
Half-Life.
a Gordon Freeman skin.
Gordon Freeman.
I
Oh,
think.
yeah, from Half-Life.
Half-Life.
Yeah.
And it's like, what?
I thought his name was
Why?
Gary for some reason, Gary Freeman, but no,
Gary
yeah, you're
Freeman.
right. Yeah, I don't know.
Makes no sense.
It's for the PC version
Yeah.
of the game.
Well, I mean, I guess it makes sense since it's like
since that's such
the
a big game there, but
PC version and Half-Life's the PC. I don't know. It's weird.
it is weird. They've done some weird things with Final Fantasy 15. But anyway, anything else about Fortnite? We're going to be streaming that tonight, Thursday night. So if you're watching this live on Friday, you
missed
can go
it.
back. You missed that, but we'll probably play it again on Saturday. We'll probably play it again on Saturday. So be excited about that.
Dude, I have to give like the Epic developers like screw them for ignoring the PvE half, but like they've done really good with like the BR half.
I am enjoying BR a lot more than I was the PvE. I wish they could fix PvE because
Yeah.
it's not what was advertised, I guess, or at least what we were hoping it would be.
Yeah.
So I wish they could fix that, but I don't know that they will or ever could.
They won't. There's no
Yeah.
money in it. That's why I have a hard time applauding them, because they already got our money and ran with it, then made something that was free to everybody, and now they're supporting it just because there's money in it, just because it's
Right.
popular.
Well, you gotta
Maybe-
So
do.
who's to say that the next
gotta
Maybe
do what you
once
gotta
the
do.
PvE goes like free to play, and everyone jumps to that kind of.
See, I don't know that anyone's going to at this point.
There's going to be people that jump to it just because you get free V-Bucks from it every so often.
I guess that makes sense. All right, let's move on. Xbox games with gold. None of us are
That's a thing.
big Xbox guys. I have an Xbox. Steven, do you have your Xbox yet?
I'm waiting for my next
Okay.
paycheck.
Okay.
It's coming.
So Steven and I are planning on getting Xbox, or I already have an Xbox, but we are planning to be playing Sea of Thieves for a Let's Play and almost definitely some live streaming. We will be doing it exclusively in pirate voices and using pirate terms.
I saw somebody.
I've already been reading up on terms, and I'm really excited about it. One of our headphones is about to come
Oh
in.
man, I was not given the memo
we did
here.
that.
I'm behind.
Well, it was kind of
Study.
an unintentional learning of terms, because I was reading on some of the functions of the game. Like one thing I guess I kind of knew but didn't realize fully. There are different ships, and it's not clear how people earn or own ships. But if you have a 2-man crew, there's a smaller boat that's easier to man with 1 or 2 people. That's what we're going to be
Okay.
cruising around in, Steven. The catch is we don't have as many guns, and we're not as fast as the other people. But
So we just.
in true pirate fashion, if we go into the wind, we are technically faster than people who are bigger than us. So we have some advantage later on, but Anyway, we're going to be an awesome crew, Steven. You and I, we're going to be a great team. So look forward to that. Anyway, all that to say, we aren't huge in the Xbox Live right now, but I did want to mention Xbox Games with Gold because we always talk about PS Plus, and so I don't want you losers to be left out. You know what I'm saying? Super Hot, Trials of the Blood Dragon, Brave, and Quantum Conundrum. All I want to say is Super Hot is totally worth getting this subscription for that.
I've been wanting to mention this for like the past month, but when we came and visited you guys,
Super Hot.
I got to play Super Hot. I got to use VR for the first time. Holy crap, what a unique experience. So awesome. I friggin' loved Super Hot.
Super Hot's awesome. Apparently there's a version that's not VR. Mm-hmm. I don't know that it would be nearly as fun without the VR, but
it wouldn't be.
VR is a cool experience, man. I mean, when you do it, we're going to be playing some VR this weekend for recording. It's great when you get to jump in and do it.
Yeah, like I was skeptical about VR. I've been saying for a long time it's got to be bad before it gets better. But Super Hot is a glimpse.
There are
into the
certain
good.
games that really, really can sell it, and Super Hot is one of those.
Yeah.
And then there's just some that are bad.
There's some that just aren't as good, like whatever that track racing game that Steven or Miles played.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Tiny Tracks or something like that. I'm not a fan. It was basically like little RC cars on a track, and you were in a 3D space watching this happen, and like it was kind of cool, but I don't know that's gonna catch on. But anyway, yes.
And then you have stuff.
It was a
like
playtest
Super
demo,
Hot
yeah.
and Fruit Ninja.
Super Hot, Fruit Ninja VR was really fun. I'm really excited about Moss. Moss is the new VR game coming out.
Yeah.
With the little Reepicheep rat that's running around. He can do Reepicheep from Chronicles of Narnia. Any Chronicles of Narnia fans out there? Yeah. No. Steven's a woo. See? Come on, Brody. You know Chronicles of Narnia.
I mean, I know.
Reepicheep is the little mouse who was like a sword master or whatever. Anyway, I digress.
Whatever.
Moss reminds me of that.
He was a Mouseketeer.
Oh gosh, he's on it now. I'm excited about that one, and I'm curious to see how that goes. But I don't have it like pre-ordered, but I'm really considering getting it now. It comes out next Tuesday.
That's the one with the mouse that uses sign language, right?
Yes, okay. I was gonna say that.
Yeah. Isn't the Rick and Morty VR game coming to PS4 VR? I thought I saw.
He probably will eventually. Yeah.
Virtual Rick.
Accounting VR
Virtual
VR
reality.
accounting plus whatever. That's hilarious from the same guys who did Rick and Morty. So
Then they like keep updating that or something. Like now there's like a.
I saw there's another level. Yeah. Well, I was a little disappointed when we first played it, and we were watching Miles play it. Which God, I wish we could have recorded that. It was so funny, but I was a little disappointed at how little there was. Like, I mean, he did all of it in maybe about 30 minutes, which there's some other stuff. Like, we never went into that bonus level. Mm-hmm. He had the opportunity to. I can't remember why we left.
He messed it up by accident. Like, he didn't mean
to kill himself.
Talk about wishing that we recorded somebody. Logan playing Super Hot.
That was hilarious.
Was the greatest thing.
One day. All right, we'll move on. Black Panther. Lay it on me, boys. How was it?
Should we throw up spoilers immediately?
All right. We are going to talk about Black Panther now. Steven, before we started this, said, there's not really anything to spoil except maybe one thing. So, you said, it's fairly predictable.
Shut up. The movie plays out in the exact way you think it's going to play out, even just by watching a trailer. There are a couple deaths that I didn't necessarily expect. One of them I'm a lot more sad about than the other. But those were the only things that were.
All right. Well, anyway.
A twist.
Expect some spoilery conversation happening here. Hopefully you've seen it. Black Panther has been breaking all sorts of records on views and box office stuff.
I think it's like top 5 box office.
I think it broke top 4.
Maybe.
But yeah, it's doing really, really well, which I knew it would. I knew it would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I get to go see it this weekend. But anyway, all right, lay it on me, boys. How was it?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good movie.
Was it as good as you were hoping it would be?
Yes. I went into it hyped, and
you felt satisfied coming out?
It maintained the hype for me.
I know Steven is a little bit more cynical.
It was the opposite of Wonder Woman for me. I heard Wonder Woman was awesome, so I went in super hyped and was like, that was an alright movie.
You take
That's
that
how I
back,
felt about
you son of a bitch.
I'm sorry, man.
Take that back.
Everyone was like, this is the best movie ever. And I was like, that was a good movie, I guess.
I could fight. I'm like on the verge of tears right now. I could fight you. I'm so mad that you did not like that movie.
I liked it. It just wasn't as good as everyone made it
I
out
cried
to
in that movie.
Why?
I did. I cried.
I wasn't attached to like really any of the characters.
I cried in the moment where Wonder Woman they're in the trenches. And she's like, we've got to help these people. And he's like, look, this place is called No Man's Land because no man has crossed this border in like however many months. And she's like, well, I have to do something. And then she walks up and crosses the thing.
Yeah,
and I'm just like,
She said,
I really appreciated
I'm a woman.
I really appreciated that
I'm a
stolen
woman.
Lord of the Rings moment.
yeah, I know. Whatever. Lord of the Rings did it first. I get that, Steven. I was there to cry for that moment too,
okay.
but this happened. Anyway, Black Panther.
It was good.
Okay.
I liked it.
So here's the thing.
I'll let Steven rant.
I felt the same way. About Wonder Woman, Brody. It was way overhyped, and it was a good movie, but it was nothing spectacular, in my opinion. In my opinion, that's the important part. Black Panther was
Still
a
the
good
best DC
movie.
movie.
I ranked it a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
Well, for a DC movie, yeah. I ranked it a 7 out of 10. Here's why. It is average. It is a good movie. It is the standard that you expect from Marvel, but it does two things better than average. That is the aesthetic. Wakanda is really cool. They used a lot of really cool Afrofuturism for the aesthetic. Looks great. And then some character moments. Killmonger was a great villain. He was very relatable. His performance was kind of because it was just Michael B. Jordan playing himself. And I think that's the thing. Like, the villain was great, and Andy Serkis as Claw, he did not care. He had such a fun time with that role, and I was having as much fun watching him in that role. He was amazing. But the characters on the villain side, the main villain, Killmonger, good character, bad performance. Well, not bad performance, just nothing spectacular. The main characters, like the heroes, their performances were good. The performances were good, but the characters were just kind of, I wasn't as into the characters as I was appreciative of the actor's departure to perform them, if that makes sense.
Okay.
That's probably kind of confusing, but the action was really shaky cam. One of the scenes was super dark. You couldn't even see anything that was going on.
It is
there were
called
some
Black
really
Panther.
good scenes. Well, okay,
I get you. No,
but-
I'm right there with you, Steven. There's so many movies that I've watched, like Greatest Showman. There were like at least 3 scenes that were completely in the dark, and I was just like, "This is a great movie, guys. I don't know what's happening." So anyway, sorry. Continue.
I will say the best action scenes, and these were great, are when T'Challa has to. That's Black Panther for those that don't know. He has to defend the throne through tribal combat.
Right.
So they strip him of the heart-shaped herb that gives him his powers, and he's standing there with like a sword and a shield, and he has to fight in tribal combat.
I'm sorry, I want to interrupt you there. So they do talk about the herb, and he eats that, and that gives him kind of Captain America abilities and all that jazz.
Yes, that is a key plot point. Yes.
Is that tied to an Infinity Stone somehow?
It's not.
Nope. I've seen people.
Oh,
okay,
that's great. Okay.
Do you care at all about spoilers?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Spoilers.
So they burned all of the plant, like all the plant's gone. And I've seen some people say that they think the Infinity Stone is somewhere where where those plants grew, and that was how those plants got that power or something.
And that makes sense.
Okay.
But the problem with that, the weird thing about that is, like, when you look at color schemes and narrative,
right?
The heart-shaped herb is purple.
Right.
The Power Stone is purple. We think the Soul Gem, which is the missing gem, is yellow.
Right.
But the soil there is yellow.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that might be it then. But I was kind of... It has to be there. Like, the Soul Stone
But
literally has to be in Wakanda.
We already have a purple Infinity Stone he's with the Collector right now.
Shoot, we already have a yellow. We're missing orange. That's what we're missing. We're missing orange. Yellow's the Mind Stone. That's right.
And that's with Vision, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Vision has the Mind Stone. So we've seen in Infinity War, Wakanda gets invaded by Thanos.
Right.
The Soul Stone is there.
Right.
Either that or they're defending Vision. So I don't know. Like, I was expecting some kind of hint towards it, but I didn't get one.
So there's nothing.
People don't mention it or anything.
No.
Really?
Literally, the only connection to Infinity War is a post-credit scene when Bucky shows up and he's cured, and he's still missing his arm.
Okay, I get what you're saying about spoilers now, because like I've seen things that's like, you know, let us explain the Infinity Stones from Black Panther, blah 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 blah, like all this and that on like IGN and stuff. And I'm thinking, holy crap, they must have just dropped a crap ton of knowledge on me. Wakanda must have known about all the Infinity Stones already. They had them all at one point. They recreated the world, like, you know, whatever. I thought we were about to just get a knowledge bomb at the end of this movie.
Nope.
Really?
People have said that it's refreshing that they made a standalone movie for Black Panther.
Right.
And that's apparently one of the reasons why it's doing so well, because it deviated from formula.
Right.
But looking at it, it doesn't really deviate from formula that much. And I feel cheated. The fact that the next movie is literally Infinity War, that makes Infinity War have that much more legwork to do when Black Panther didn't even set up any kind of transition.
Right. Wow. I really would have expected a lot. Well, I didn't necessarily expect like Black Panther to have anything. Like, I was really surprised when I saw all this stuff and, like, talking about, like, oh, my gosh, they must have known all about the Infinity Stones. Like, I would not have ever expected that. But just seeing some things I saw written, I was expecting that kind of knowledge drop. And it made sense, since this is the last thing we're going to see before Infinity War.
Yeah.
Wow.
They made Wakanda, like, Wakanda is an isolated entity, and like while you might expect Wakanda to understand like this might be what's coming and stuff like that, to where they have the upper hand, the advantage of foresight and stuff, they don't. They literally are completely isolated. They don't know about anything greater than what the rest of the earth knows. They just have vibranium, and that's it.
Right. Crazy.
Infinity War is going to be 2 parts, right?
Yes. They
think
keep
denying that it is. It's going to have to be.
They went back on the name, so it's no longer part 1 and part 2, which I kind of figured they weren't going to stick with that. Like, I figured it would be Infinity War, you know, Thanos
Rising.
You know,
the
Thanos Rise or whatever, and then, you know, Avengers Infinity War. The fall of Thanos or whatever. Like, I figured it would be something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's possible that they could be completely different.
I'm just going to assume
So Infinity War... Go ahead.
I was just going to say, if it is parts, I'm just going to assume that part 1 is mostly setting up.
Well, the interesting thing, and Steven, you and I have discussed this before, but we have some relatively new knowledge now. Ant-Man 2... is going to be a movie that's going between Infinity Wars 1 and Infinity Wars 2, if that's what it's going to be called. But we now know that's a flashback.
Place before.
We know that's a flashback now. And then I think the other one that's in between is Captain Marvel, right?
And that's in the 90s.
It's also a flashback. Yep. In fact, it's before the original Avengers. So
it almost makes too much sense for it to be going straight from Infinity War to the end of Infinity War, going into Infinity War Part 2.
Right.
But they keep denying that. I don't know. But, I mean, I did see a funny meme. I sent you guys this.
Yes.
Jake, I don't think you got the context.
I didn't get it. I've seen some other stuff. But
okay.
Yeah.
So M'Baku is one of the characters. He's Man-Ape in Black Panther. And there's one part...
That's his name?
Where,
Man-Ape?
That's his villain name. He's not called that in the movie, but he is Man-Ape. They're a tribe that worships the ape.
Just like Man-Bat.
Okay.
It's the comics, man. It's the comics.
I'm not...
But they went with M'Baku in this. So Martin Freeman's character tries to say something to him, and then he just looks at him and just starts going, oh, 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 oh. And just keeps barking until he just stops talking.
I saw some videos that was like what it's like to be the one white guy in the office after Black Panther, and that was one of the things they did, and I was like, the heck is happening? So I really shouldn't have watched that until after I'd seen it, but anyway. Well, so Steven, the one other question I want to ask you, so you give it a 7, there's 3 points that you knocked off. Is there anything like distinctly negative? Because you kind of just mentioned like, I don't know, you've just kind of mentioned like they did this well but not well enough to deserve a 10. Is there anything like I don't know, like was there anything that was just like hard no on that, like that just really took off a point?
I did not like T'Challa as a lead because they tried one of the charms about T'Challa is that he is this guy who like he is the man. Like, he's super intelligent, super strong, super athletic, super good leader, all of those things. And they even did in the trailer, the whole, hey, don't freeze. I never freeze. I loved that response because that's so T'Challa. But guess what happens in the scene right after? He freezes. He freezes. And so it's like they try to humanize T'Challa, who is a character that we've seen in Civil War works better with an ensemble cast, in my opinion. And I know they tried to humanize him to make him a more relatable lead, but they did things like Shuri, his younger sister, who in the comics is smarter than Tony Stark. She was great.
I hear she's one of the shining lights.
I really hate that they made a "What Are Those" reference.
Did they?
Yeah,
I did too.
It was.
I did, yeah.
I was like, what? That's gonna be like that's already a dated reference, but I can't imagine us like trying to like show our kids like the like Avengers like series and that joke coming up and then being like
what is that?
Huh?
So Shuri was great in the movie. She was funny, she was cool. But they took a scene where she is showing T'Challa his new suit. Now, what should have been T'Challa has been known in the comics to be intelligent enough to work alongside Tony and actually contribute. There's this scene where Shuri is showing him the tech, and it's like James Bond getting his new gear from the lab, to where it's just like, oh, well, cool, I'll be using this. Well, this worked fine. It doesn't need improvement. Like making him look like he's just the muscle, and that's such a dig at the character because he's supposed to be better than that. That's one small gripe. The other one is just the action, like I said, wasn't great. It's not that it did anything particularly terrible except for some dialogue in the first 15 minutes or so, but it just did only 2 things better than average. And like with Marvel movies, like Guardians of the Galaxy is my favorite Marvel movie. It's one of my favorite movies. It did so many things exceptionally well that even the things it didn't do well were so outshined by its strengths. With Black Panther, it had 2 strengths that it did pretty well, but everything else was just kind of like a shrug for me. I'd seen it before.
I will say that there was like a scene where T'Challa and Killmonger were fighting each other, and they were in the suits. It was the one where they like fell down that the mine,
the vibranium shaft, the mine. Yeah,
I don't know. The CG in that looked really weird to me.
Well,
like it looked
all
really
CG for
CG.
sure. Yeah.
I don't.
It was not well hidden CG.
I mean, it still looked awesome, but it was like just really weird to see.
If it took you out of the experience, that's when it's a problem.
And then my only other gripe is that they brought up those sneakers, but never used the sneakers.
So Shuri develops T'Challa some shoes that literally absorb sound, so he can't make sound when stepping. And she's like, hey, you know what I call them? Sneakers. And when I heard that, I was like, okay. Like, I was back on board, because that was right after the "What Are Those" line. So it's like they lost me, and they immediately were like, hold on.
We got you back.
Coming.
They got me. They pulled me right back.
They got me
but
back.
They never bring it up again. He doesn't even use them.
They never bring it up. Yeah.
Whatever. Sounds like they had a lot of great things, but then just didn't use them.
But it's still a really good movie.
I was when you were describing him, it reminds me a lot about how I feel with Batman in the Justice League. Not like animated.
Yep.
Batman in the Justice League versus Batman not in the Justice League, because like solo Batman series is, even though like the animated series, Batman's still awesome, but like he has those humanizing moments that kind of, it's great because you can connect with the character, but you also can't like, I don't know what the word I'm looking for. It's like he's not as mysterious and just awesome. Whereas in the Justice League, Batman will just say something like, "I've got this," and like just disappear, come back, and it's done.
Right.
Or like he'll get shot with a laser. You think he's dead, he's back. Like, you know, like he's just Batman, and he can do things like that. But
that's what's so, like in Civil War, for example, you see T'Challa not suited up take on Bucky while Bucky is literally laid waste to everybody else, and the one hit Bucky lands on Black Panther, he just rolls off and stands right back up as if nothing happened. That's a cool moment. But you don't really get stuff like that in the Black Panther solo film because they try to make this character flawed and relatable. He's the king of an African country. How relatable is he gonna be? Just make him as cool
I was an
as you
African,
can.
A king of an African country, way back, in the day. So I can. It brings me back to those days. But anyway. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into this episode of ChortleCast. We do hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, there's a few things you can do to help us out. Number one, if you're watching on YouTube, you're already at ChortleGames.com, and you can leave a comment on this video. Let us know what you thought. Did you like it? Did you agree with our topics? Maybe disagree with us. I don't know. Say something in the comments. Just say hi. We like to hear you say hi and that you like the podcast. You can also, if you're an audio listener, you're probably listening on iTunes, you can leave us a nice little review. Tell us how we did on the podcast. That really helps the channel, the podcast get discovered. Also, you can send us an email at ChortleCast@gmail.com, and you can give us some topic ideas. You can tell us what you thought of the show. If you got some questions you want us to answer, that sort of thing, you can send that there. And then you can always tweet us at ChortleGames on Twitter, and we'll tweet you back. We've also got a Facebook page that's ChortleGames on Facebook. And then we live stream sometimes on Twitch, which is Chortle_Games.
So much stuff.
Speaking of live streaming, we're going to be live streaming tonight. What are we probably going to be playing, gentlemen?
Who knows?
I'm not going to be there.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know what we're going to be live streaming.
Known because this is Friday and. Oh wait, are you talking about Friday's stream or Thursday's
Friday's stream?
Oh,
yes, I will be
tonight when we record the podcast. We're going to be playing Fortnite, but you have already missed your opportunity to watch that live. So, but Fridays we also live stream.
It was so confusing.
What are we? We're probably going to live stream Monster Hunter because that's almost inevitably what we always live stream.
Yeah, probably some Monster Hunter. Depending on who all can be there. If it's just me and Miles, we might do Rocket League or 7 Days to Die. Or
7 Days to Die would be awesome. Can y'all do that? I want to vote that.
What?
7 Days to Die.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have it, but I would love to watch you guys play it.
I'd say start a new world though.
Yeah.
That would take so long.
You got to though.
Like that's the thing. Like
you got to build
7
it up.
Days to Die. Like it would be hard to. Well, okay. We'll lock down a time for that. We'll give you guys some 7 days.
Stay tuned to
Twitter.
Twitter.
Be doing some Monster Hunter.
Chortle Games. We'll let you know what's happening on our live streams, but we typically do two live streams on Friday. Monster Hunter is just kind of the hot thing right now, so that's what we'll play.
It's hot.
Saturday we'll probably play some Fortnite at some point, maybe something else if we get a fancy for it. And then of course we've got some great content coming up for you in the following weeks. We are going to be on Monday continuing with Cuphead. This will be part 14 of Cuphead.
It's close to over.
We're really
guys.
close to over. We've only got like 4 bosses left.
3, I think.
No, 4.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, you got that. What did we fight? Oh, we fought the theater lady. Me and Brody go to the theater. We watch this crazy lady's life play, and it's really strange. But we had some good times. And then Wednesday, we play one of the greatest games on Switch, Golf Story. It is the longest episode we will have posted since Inside. I put so much work into this video. If no one watches it and enjoy it, I will be really upset.
For anyone that hasn't watched, our Inside episodes were like 20. It's like 20 minutes.
They started out at like 20, 30 minutes because
that's how long Golf Story is.
golf store is like 20 minutes. Yeah. It's so funny. It's so funny. I number one, I had way too much fun filming it, and I had even more fun editing it. So I couldn't cut anything.
You text our group chat and you were like, if this doesn't make everyone pee their pants, I'm quitting.
I am quitting because I thought I was hilarious in this. So anyway, I'm putting it up as a 20-minute video. Enjoy it or don't. Let me know in the comments if you like it or not. I'm excited about it. Tuesday, you're going to keep doing your XCOM series, right, Steven?
We're back with XCOM, yeah. We're early in the game, but we're moving at a pretty good pace. It's about to get interesting. We already got 2 missions that were way more difficult than I thought they would be. So difficulty is going to curve up real quick, and I would suggest you guys be there because I literally almost crapped my pants in the first episode when I saw some of the things that happened.
You've got some new soldiers that you've added, and if people want to join the army, what do they need to do?
All right, so if you want to join, you can either go comment on one of our XCOM episodes. I check the comments every single day. Or you can tweet us, send us a direct message on Twitter, or post at us on Facebook, anywhere where we can see you typing to us. Send it there. We will see it.
You need a name, a fake last name.
If you want it to be fake. It doesn't have to be fake,
right.
But I figure, yeah. So I need a name, first and last. Fake if you guys want it to be. You can even give me just a random name, and if I can fit it, I'll make it in there. I need a class that you want to be. There's Ranger, which is assault and swords. Sharpshooter, which is sniper rifles and pistols. Specialist, which is your medic / hacker. And then Grenadier, which is your cannons and grenade launcher. And then there's Templar, Skirmisher, and Reaper, but I'll get into those later in the actual episodes because we haven't met them yet. So just pick one of those classes. If any of that is confusing, watch the first episode. You get to see all of them in action. Just pick a class, your 2 favorite colors, any kind of physical description you want, and that's good. Honestly, all I really need is name and class. You can even just give me a name if you want, and I'll just pick a class for you.
Yeah. But anyway, do that if you want to be involved. Thursday, we did not get to have the couch co-op live stream like we are hoping to be doing on Thursday. Hopefully, this upcoming Thursday, y'all can do the WWE that you talked about last week for couch co-op. That'll be good. And then, of course, Friday we'll have another great podcast for you. So this has been fun. Any final words before we leave these good people to go about their day or continue on their drive or while they're sitting at home alone drinking whiskey and wine
Make
at the
sure
same
you
time?
get lots of sleep.
Sleep is important. I've been sick this week, and I slept about a solid 8 hours, and it cleaned me right up. I was ready to go.
I was gonna say Alex Ann's like been like really into like sleep stuff, and she said that like if you get less than like I think like 6 hours of sleep, it's like worse than like smoking like a pack a day or something.
I just discovered that I smoked a pack a day for most of my youth life.
Your mom would be so upset to hear that you smoked.
And on that note, we'll see you next time.
I didn't get to say anything.